painting, I bring you an idea to paint, creating a realistic fluffy cloud with one color, any kind of blue color, just as per your wish, and black, white in acrylic using scumbling motion. And scumbling involves layering thin broken layers of abaque paint over a dry base to create a soft textured and three-dimensional form. First of all, needing our art materials, the colors ultramarine blue, black, and white, the brushes, flat brush 16 and filbert brush. First, to create our sky background, 70% of blue color and 10% of black, 30% of white color, mixing well together. Painting sky background, paint top down, start at the top of the canvas with the darkest this mixture, ultramarine blue, black and white. Use long horizontal side to side brush strokes. Just move down the canvas, gradually adding more white to the blue mixture to create the lighter tone. Keep all the strokes horizontal to emulate the appearance of the distant calm sky. Just here few points, acrylics are dry quickly, so blend while the paint layers are wet. And this edge to edge is very important. Never stop your brush strokes in the middle. Just keep the brush flat against the canvas for maximum coverage. Moisture control is important. Mist the canvas lightly with water if paint drags. First make the outline of fluffy cloud shape, then going to fill the color in it. Once completing this sky background, leave it couple of minutes to dry. The scumbling techniques requires a completely dry background layer to work effectively. Here combine the colors, 50% of ultramarine blue, 30% of white and 30% of black acrylics mix well together. This we can get a nice color to create a soft grey blue. Scumbling techniques, and this stroke, it's not a vertical stroke, it's not a horizontal stroke, this is a circular motion brush stroke. Now creating shadows, the bottom downwards here, using a same dry brush technique, scumbling motion, the grey blue onto the bottom of our canvas. This makes the top highlighting and the bottom appear shaded, giving the 3D effect. This darker shading for deeper shadows and sparingly scumble the deepest, flattest parts of the bottom edge. Now going to create the second layer, the mid-tones. Load the mid-tones, just adding the little more white with this previous color. Get this grey mixture and scumble this middle section. This layer directly over the upper halves of the dark shapes. Modify this pressure. Press firmly in the center and lighten pressure as you move outward. Now I am adding the third layer, scumble the white highlights, scumble exclusively on the very top edges where the light hits. Here I am showing the right side light hitting and the left side extreme left the shadow part. Now I am using filbert brush size 4 with the titanium white. I am going to here show the light hitting the top edge. Just and look at the hearts. Take the clean dry soft brush and gently blend it out. Just ensure that our filbert brush completely dry and load the brush with white acrylic. We are going to highlight the light hitting side. Apply scumbling highlight using very light pressure. Rub the brush and the canvas over the dry base layer. Just circular motion completely and the paint should be skipped over the surface, create an irregular broken texture. The small circular twisting and scooping motions with the rounded edge of this filbert brush rather than, and just focus the strokes on the top edges of the cloud where the light is hitting. Build volume and soften. Continue the apply layers, building up this brightness, the top of the highlight area. Here the light hitting. Allow some of the dry underlayer to the show through the highlights for depth. Just touch this highlight top edges of the bright highlight, scrap just downward into the dark cloud base and just create the smooth gradient from bright this light hitting. Just hold the breast flat against the canvas, move in light circular scrambling motion. Just this titanium white touch with this highlighting and scramble the main body of this cloud lightly. Let the canvas grain peek through. Keep the bottom and the side edges soften the translucent. This is the target tops. The layer of white in multiple thin circular passes to build opacity. Blend inward, scrub from the bright white edges inward toward the dark core. In this layering for maximum realism, wait for the first cloud layer to dry completely. Then add a second layer, smaller layer on the top to create the depth. Just scumble lightly the very top edge of the cloud where the sun hit. Just hold the brush perpendicular to the canvas surface and scrub lightly. Move the brush's rabbit light circular scumbling motion from structure. Outline the bottom and core structural shape of our cloud. Blend the edges. Use a clean dry brush and soften the color edges immediately. Scumbling is nothing. It's an acrylic painting. Involves applying a thin, uneven layer of abaque paint over a dry, previously painted layer to create texture. Soften edges or add luminous highlights. It's best used for creating soft clouds, distant foliage, textured stone, and highlight on water or adding depth to skin tones, often using a dry brush to create textured broken color effect. While using these scumbling techniques in painting, just keep it dry, no need to add water or medium to our brush. When scumbling, and moisture will turn effect into a wash and losing the signature broken texture. And wait for the base to dry. Always ensure our bottom layer is completely dry before scumbling. If the bottom layer is wet, the colors will mix physically rather than optically. And the very pressure, just light pressure for a subtle effect. Pressure harder will fill the valleys of the canvas and cover more of the underlying color, which may not be desired broken look. We can complete this fluffy cloud painting with one color in the three easy steps. The first one, the shadow base. The second one, mid-tone layering. The third one, final highlighting. The first one, we used the little darker gray. This provides the underlying three-dimensional volume at the bottom. The mid-tone layering, just lighter gray, and just this is the stage of scumbling and relatively the dry brush to create soft wispy edges that blend into the sky. And the final highlighting, apply the pure titanium white only at the very top edges. The sunlight directly hits or the moonlight directly hits. Use thicker paint here to create texture and make the clouds pop against the darker background. Here the key techniques, the scumbling techniques, moving a dry brush in a quick circular motion, create soft and ethereal edges and fluffy textures. And the next one, wet on wet techniques, applying white clouds while the blue sky is still damp, allows for the seamless blending and natural transparency. The easy starting point, just to start because they are so versatile. Beginners can start with simple project like painting